Gotta do this program. What? All right, there's Nick.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
So far, it's just, hey, guy.
Oh.
It's just uno más, uno. Mm.
Oh man, yeah, I thought y'all would be waiting. Is it 7 minutes past over there?
I got
it's like a
8:01. I got 1 minute after.
Okay. Okay, sweet. My phone has the correct time.
So are you normally an early riser?
Yeah, this makes me feel like I'm waking up before the rest of the world
Yeah,
started.
I bet you are. Is when you walk over to where you're at, is there a lot of people on the street, or is it just?
Yeah, there are a lot of people on motorbikes, but it seems like that they're on motorbikes for 24/7 pretty much. But I am the first person in the cafe for like a good hour or so.
Oh, cool.
Like, today I was waiting with the employees to get into the locked cafe. So.
And it's locked, and everybody's waiting. They think that you're gonna want something right away, and they're all panicked.
Yeah, something like that, or they're not expecting somebody to be here so early.
To be waiting right at the door. I remember years ago. I mean, a long time ago, I was a bartender. Just like when I was like 22, and it was a beer bar, so it wasn't like anything special. But I would open up the bar at 8:00, and people would be waiting outside.
No way.
Yeah, but in their defense, it was kind of, in Jersey, people worked the night shift or steel workers. So for them, it's like happy hour time.
Yeah. Okay.
22.
I guess so.
Who didn't have a job.
Yeah. I guess if you get into that routine, you get used to getting in at that time.
Yeah, that's tough when you got to kick it back at 8:00 in the morning. Pretty brutal. I could maybe do if I was like partying where and it's going to be in my coffee, or I hadn't gone to sleep yet.
Right. Well, I mean that's like a Vegas trip right there. But I imagine if I got used to graveyard shifts and that became my lifestyle, my rhythm, then that would be. Yeah.
If you're getting off at 7:00 in the morning, it's so funny. Paul comes on. It's dark. He's got the dark beard. I'm waiting to hear some kind of Black Sabbath music.
different parts of the world for sure.
Yeah. How'd it go yesterday, guys?
It went good. Well.
Yeah.
It's good to have our first practice for sure.
Good. And, I mean, it really helps to have somebody to work with and try different things and not just did you discover anything new working together?
I think if anything, the practice gives me more self-awareness of how to improve. Just getting feedback from somebody aside from myself.
And we kind of need that, until you get to the point where we're going, I see it. It's like you want to know that I'm connected to something, I feel the change, and I know that they got it. I'm not pushing it because I'm not getting a response from them. So that's really where we want to be. Paul, how about you?
Yeah, I think the working together is instructive. One thing I learned yesterday was, I was finding that in the practice we were doing that my rise to anger is too quick. And so then I'm there and it's, I could kind of see where the audience could kind of bored. Like this guy gets angry quick and then he kind of holds on to it throughout the scene. So I'm trying to slow that down a little bit, trying to build to it.
Well, next week I'm gonna introduce you to the modifiers. Ways we modify what we're feeling. And so the question would always be, if I got that angry that quick, well then it's like a person who has a hair trigger. But very rarely can we, what would it serve you or the character to get really angry and then not do anything about it? that's the part that becomes a little bit illogical because you get burnt out. It's more or less that I'm showing you I'm angry as opposed to what you did really made me angry and I really want to rip your head off. So the question is, if I am angry, I have these impulses, why don't you act on them? Make sense? So whenever we are experiencing emotion, any in life, and you don't do what that emotion demands you do, the question is why? You're frightened, whatever, you're feeling the fear. I mean, if you were to kind of dissect it, you probably, you go, I need to get out of here. I want to leave. The question is, why don't you? I don't want to have my emotions control me so that I'm going to override it in some way, or I don't want somebody else to get the better of me. There's a reason, whether we know it or not, but there is a reason. So we need to go in and we know that this is happening. The character, if I was making a choice, is probably feeling this. If they're feeling this, they have an impulse. Remember it's the whole sensations, impulses that we need to be aware of, because if I'm feeling angry, what I want to do is I want to remove the interference. I want to punish. I want to retaliate. Why don't you? And if you can't answer that, then you really, don't know the character well enough for the situation. And it's not, the audience is going to go, well, I don't get it. He's just looking angry for his own sake. Is that kind of what you're getting at, Paul?
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, like in yesterday's scene, the character could certainly get angry, but it wasn't sort of in, our scenario was a coffee shop, and the backstory was, it wasn't one of those situations where, he's going to jump on the guy and start pounding him or anything. Mm-hmm. It was more of the anger actually quickly turned to disgust. Mm-hmm. And then after it turned to disgust, it was just kind of like, I'm out of here, basically.
Okay. Well, there's a thing about you, too, that the eyes widening is going to make it appear that you're more excited in the anger than maybe you are.
Okay.
So remember, going back to our, stuff that we had in the static shot, as well as stuff that we tend to do in our conversations, our punctuation, that's going to make it appear as though you've gotten angrier quicker than you really had. It's that you place them in there, so it looks like that. So what I want you to do is, and when you guys are working together, Nick, if you see that going, did you just have a surge of anger, or was that some kind of affectation that was going on that you throw in there when you are feeling any emotion? And if it is, then you can become aware of it. And I guess my professional advice is don't do it.
Don't do it, yeah.
But it's a condition that you tend to do. It's you like to raise those eyelids up. And do you know when that happens for you?
Maybe when I'm thinking about something. Mm-hmm. Introspective about a thought or a feeling. Uh-huh. Perhaps.
Is there anybody else in your family who does that, or people you know?
Yeah, I think my mom does it. Yeah.
Okay. That's probably where you picked it up from.
Yeah.
And it's more like an exclamation point.
Right. Right. My mom and my grandfather too, actually. My mom's a dad.
Okay. Right. And then you got it.
Yeah.
You got any of those, Nick?
For me, it might be the opposite. I've been told that if I'm deep in thought, it'll look like I'm thinking about nothing, or like my eyes are lifeless. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where, you know, if I get that from a family member, I just have recognized that if I'm focusing on, say, like a movement or like a pose or something, that my I stop thinking about my facial expression, then that quickly becomes perceived as lifeless.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also flick the contempt muscle group a lot. Just when you're thinking, there'll be a little.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I put you both a while back. There's some software that facial recognition software that I have access to.
Right.
And so I had that read your static face as well as me reading it, and we were both in agreement. You had the anger going, and Nick had is contempt, and it was catching it right on the side over here. It's kind of interesting. And that was just your static shot.
Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting.
So it does. It's the same software that they use to acknowledge the resting bitch face.
You know what I've been like, kind of, as my self-awareness has increased, and we talk about like raising both instead of just like one side of the face. And I thought about that for my mouth too. And I noticed that I favor the left side of my face more than activating the right side. And I tried that. I just tried practicing only activating the right side. And I felt like I just felt more awake, kind of. It felt weird. Like I felt like this, I don't know, I felt brighter. And maybe it was because I felt less contemptuous or something. I really don't know how to define why.
You might have felt balanced in a way as well. You know, when all of a sudden your smile becomes symmetrical, it also feels a little different. You could feel open, available, makes you feel good, or it could make you feel a little uneasy, as though people are going to see you, and you become more vulnerable.
Yeah, definitely.
We tend to a lot of people will lean on one side, so one side will be stronger. You know, the muscle groups will be stronger on one side, and things tend to be asymmetrical, but they're only asymmetrical in the ones that you are trying to comment on, be real. In other words, if I put a gun to your head, odds are your muscles will activate. They will be symmetrical, both of them, in the emotion, as opposed to the ones that we put on to protect ourselves or show someone something. Cool. So what I want to do today is we're going to take a kind of a jump back and get into a little bit more of the language of the face, because right now we've been focusing on the emotions, and next week we're going to go back to the emotions, and I'm going to work with you with some dialogue a little bit, and we're going to begin to do some modification of the emotions. So I want to play with a whole bunch of cool stuff, but I want to focus today and part of next week on the reaction. Now, most of the time, hang on a second. When we're reacting to something, especially going in an audition setting, it's not always in an emotional response, meaning you didn't get, not everything is emotional. But when they say you have a strong opinion about something, a strong opinion is kind of, a statement entwined with emotion. So it's a subjective feeling towards something, but it's not necessarily, you're not necessarily in that emotional state. Let me give you a better example of that. If you think of something that you don't like to eat, the idea of putting in your mouth disgusts you. You got something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it a food? Is it a body part?
Food.
Okay, good. All right. So what for Paul, what food for you?
Raw tomatoes.
Raw tomatoes?
Yeah.
Okay. And Nick, do you have something?
Recently in Vietnam, it's been frog.
Frog. Yeah. Okay. So now if I go, you know what? I'm hungry. You guys want to? If I say, Nick, you want to get some frog? And you're probably going, no way, right? and maybe it's, but if you wanted me to know that you felt I had a really strong dislike for them, do you want, and let me see if you do it. Do you want some frog?
It's kind of like a.
Yeah, just, yes or no. You want some frog?
No.
Okay. All right. So Paul, do you want some raw tomatoes with that burger?
No.
Okay. Good. Now, did you do that on purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. It made it stronger, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I just don't want it. Like you saw, Nick was like, I don't want to even talk about it. So he was in a different place. He wasn't putting his opinion about frogs. He was trying to figure out how he can not deal with it altogether. So what you gave me, and it wasn't disgusting now, unless I ask you both to, in your hand, Paul, I want you to see a raw tomato. And Nick, I want you to see a frog. Hold the frog the way you was. Now the color, the shape. All right? The size of it. How much does it weigh in your hand? Can you feel it in the texture? Once you have kind of those senses going, why don't you bring it close to your nose and see if it has a smell? Let your nose recall that smell. Bring it right up to your nose, Paul. Hold on to that. Try to let your nose recall that smell of a raw tomato. Okay, it's coming, Nick. Keep working with it. Good. Now I want you to open your mouth and put that on your bottom lip, and I want you to feel the texture on it. Okay? Cool. On the count of 3, I want you to slowly, going from 3 to 0, I want you to bring your teeth into it and slowly bite down. 3, 2, 1. Let your teeth move through it and bite down. It is squeeze. It gets it juicy in your mouth. What's it do? All right. Cool. Now, as we went through it, tasting it, if you really allow that taste to go, it should, like right now you get some little aftertaste, Paul, going. But that biting down, you can feel that, I don't want to bite into it. Whether it be the texture, the taste. That's really experiencing the disgust for it. The other one, do you want it? No. It's an opinion. Okay? So it makes sense. The difference between I'm having an emotional experience and I'm having a strong opinion. So the stronger your opinion is about something, the more entwined with emotion it will be. But not necessarily you being emotional. Okay. So let's, what we're going to do now is we're working with the brow. So let me see how it's working for you first. Nick, give me a little, Good. I want to hear the sound too. Paul, let me see. Good. Now notice that you guys still got a little bit of the eyelid connected. So let's, as we're doing it, so it's not lifting the eyelid. Good. Cool. So now I want you to put Nick on. Nick, put Paul on. And if you guys want to record, I'm already recording this. But if you want to record your screen and put for each other, that's up to you. I record. I'll put it on. Let me do that real quickly. More. So anybody who wants to record themselves can allow record. Allow record. Okay. So Nick, you're gonna say to Paul, I'm gonna go to Starbucks. Paul, okay. You are responding with a. Now, I want you to make the sound, and we'll start with that, and then I'll fill you in. Okay, you ready? Anytime, Nick.
Hey, Paul, I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
Good. Now, when he did that for you, Nick, do it again. Now, I want you to be aware of how you want to respond before I tell you anything. What would, if he did that? What would be the next thing you would say? All right. So try it again. Hey,
Paul, I'm gonna just go to Starbucks real quick.
Make sure you make the sound, because if you don't make the sound, you're just lifting. Try it again.
Hey, Paul, I'm going to go to Starbucks real quick.
And watching what he did, don't try to figure it out. Would you just go, okay, I'm going? Or
I would have naturally said, like, hey, do you want something, or do you want to go?
Okay, so yeah, it made you go. There was some kind of interest he had on there, right?
Yeah.
So Paul, if you can lift that all the way up and then hold it there without widening the eyes, make sure. So he gets your message. Right now, you don't even know the message you're sending. Well, let's see if Nick can figure it out. So he's going to Starbucks. I'm going to Starbucks. And then see how he wants to respond. Again, do it again. Here we go.
Hey, Paul, I'm just going to go to Starbucks real quick. Do you want to go? Do you want something? Want to get you something?
Okay, good. So let me ask you this question now, Paul. Why would you raise your brows? Why would you react the way you just did? Based on what it was feeling for you, what?
He said something that, enticed me. I wanted to be a part of it.
So you were questioning in some way, and so put that into a thing. Now, if you were questioning something, what might this questioning be? Can I go, or can you give me something?
Can you give me something? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, can you give me something? You going? Are you doing what I think you're doing? Are you getting coffee? Is that what you're doing? So there's some kind of intention because you want some.
Right.
Okay. Now, with that intention, let's paint your story a little bit. God, it's like right now maybe you're working, and it's hard to concentrate. Okay, that'd be your opening story. And Nick goes, "Hey, Paul, I think I'm going to Starbucks." Now, okay. Right again.
Hey, Paul, I think I'm going to go to Starbucks real quick.
Now, interpret the message you just got, Nick. Because it wasn't the same message; it was different, right?
Yeah, the eyes came along with the eyebrows, so.
Okay. So it was more like a questioning surprise in some way. That was,
It might have been like, because he's focused on something else too. It's like, it seemed like he was still focused on that thing. Like he was about to answer me in a moment, but he was still focused on the other thing.
Okay.
Like that? Yeah.
So so what happened? When we're responding, what we're doing, everything is saying something, because how fast it went up meant that there was a much more interest or urgency in it. So I want you to try and see what this feels like for you. Instead of going up really quick, I want you to see him and then bring it up, a little slower. But it's right to Nick. Try it again. See what that feels like.
Hey, Paul, I'm just going to go to Starbucks real quick.
And I want you to finish, whatever you get thrown at you, Nick, I want you to respond. See how it makes you, even if you don't, I don't get that.
Okay, sure.
Because this is a message. This is like he just said something to you. I want the communication to go all the way through. So he brought it up slowly. And it's saying something. What do you think it's saying?
It could be either I want something, or if he's like my boss, it's like, are you cool with that? Are you cool with me going?
Okay. So if we were going to go with the word really, that might be a really. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit more really. Is that what you are? Then the next step, you want something? Yeah, can you get me something? So let's flip it back on to Nick. So you're doing something right now, and just the sound of I want you to respond. And we'll figure out why you're responding that way. Okay? So when you're ready, Paul, tell me you're going to Starbucks.
Hey, Nick, I'm going to Starbucks. You want something?
Okay. Now, could you read all the messages? Because there was more than one message sent, and it wasn't just the brow.
A little bit of happiness.
Yeah. Okay. So now what ended up happening, you gave 2 messages. And so if I was to define that going, well, your message isn't clear yet. All right. So all the sound is, So do it again. And I want you to see, and hold it, make sure he gets it. I don't care. You don't even, right now, you don't even know what you're saying, but that's my message. It's a, really? There you go. And action.
So Nick, I'm going to Starbucks. You want to go?
Okay. So it was a little unclear, but it was good. But because your reaction is it, do you want something too? Okay. So now here's the thing. What would the reaction be if you guys had a deadline and Paul goes, hey, I think I'm going to go to Starbucks? Figure out how that you give him that reaction. It's going to be a different message, but see how it feels. It's going to be in the speed of it, and it's going to be a little bit more doubting. So if it was really, this is going to be really. You say that? Really. Really. Okay. So see if you can get out of work, Paul. Here we go. And action.
Hey, Nick, I'm going to go to Starbucks.
Really?
Make sure that brow goes all the way up as you can go, and then just tilt it down a little bit.
Really?
There you go. Good. So can you feel that too, Paul? Bring it up. Yeah. It's like really. So the brow has to come up, and the chin is just tipping just a little bit. It's the same questioning, only it's doubting it a little bit. Really.
Yeah.
Really.
You know, it's like, and we do it a lot of times when we think somebody's bullshitting us, but we're not gonna. You know, we like them. Really. Okay. Yeah. I fought off 12 guys. They were all trying to come after me and get my sandwich. All right, 8. And you can hold it there until I get down to, okay, so it was one small girl with the cookie. There you go. Okay, cool. So we're responding with the brow coming up as a form of question. So I want you to give, you're doing something, Nick. And then, Paul, all I want you to do is, hey, Nick, I want you to look up to Paul, and you're going to give him the questioning brow, but the message is what? So it sounded, Okay. So it's just lifting that brow. If I say to you guys, hey, guys. Yeah. Now, as long as that brow's up, you're not going to bring it down until I tell you what I want. Oh, never mind. In fact, do it again. So you're looking down, writing. So make you as you're writing something. Hey guys. Yeah. Good. So maintain those eyes. I need you to isolate that a little bit more right in the center, Paul. Good. So as soon as you hear, hey guys, look up, and then you're sending me the message. Yeah. Okay. Ready? Do it one more time. Hey guys. Good. Now, and it's not a big deal, but if I didn't tell you to don't drop the brow until you got your answer, your odds are you will because you didn't have a question. Follow what I'm saying? So if you are, it's going to be, you're going to hold it until either because it's like an action. I'm going to hold it until I accomplish what I set out to do, which is what? Or it becomes all of a sudden you walk away and I'm going, wait, hey, what? Or it's pointless to go on, or something interferes with it, and then I'm still waiting. I'm going to come back. So we have to kind of complete it, stay with it until it's completed. All right. So let me see the eyes widening. Mm-hmm. 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 All right. So now with that reaction, if I say I'm going to Starbucks, why would you give that reaction? Why don't you figure it out? What's it? Can you feel what it's saying?
Yeah.
Are you excited about Starbucks?
Yeah. You want something.
Yeah. So that quick message, and if I'm your boss and you didn't want me to see it, boom, Starbucks. So I want you to give each other the message that you're interested by just the. Okay, so first, Nick, you go to Paul, but I want you to do it in a way so to avoid getting my attention. So it's Paul. Come on, all right, ready? Try it.
Hey, Paul. You go to Starbucks?
Now I want you to give it as though that is brilliant. Starbucks. And good. Try it. Yeah.
Hey, Paul. I'm going to go to Starbucks.
Now, can you make the sound and let it go up and bring it down? So you don't want to hold it there.
Okay.
Shoot it. Ready? One more time.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Paul. Oh, sorry, hold on. Make sure it's stable. Okay. Hey, Paul. You want to go to Starbucks?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Do it one more time. Now, see if you can do it just a little bit smaller, so that and that might be look right into your camera lens instead of down, because I think that's what's making it wider too.
Okay.
Try it again and action.
Hey, Paul. You go to Starbucks?
Okay. So, all right, so let's switch it. Good. All right, so Nick, the same thing. Starbucks. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here we go. Action.
Do you want to go to Starbucks?
Now, as you guys work together, when we're isolating just one muscle group, we got to give feedback to make sure nothing else is moving, or if we just see the brow moving. So, because odds are you don't know. So that was more your brows and your eyelids, Nick.
Wait, can you repeat that one more time?
That was more your brow than your eyelid.
Oh, so I'm only activating the eyelids?
Just the eyelid, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
There you go.
Hey, Nick, we're going to Starbucks.
And make the sound.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Do it again.
Hey, Nick, we're going to Starbucks.
Did you make the sound?
No, I didn't make sound. One more time.
Yeah, trust me, the sound's going to guide you. Here you go. And action.
Nick, we're going to Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Do it a little quicker now. That was good. Do it again.
Hey, Nick, I'm going to Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
Now see what happens. So what from here. You want me to get you something? Stay in the same thing. Yeah. So why this is exciting, but you don't want anybody to know Starbucks. So I want you to do it this time here. You're gonna say, Nick, I'm going to Starbucks. And Starbucks. And then I want you to add in, Nick, how Starbucks will come out. Starbucks. But remember, everything in the surprise is neutral. Okay, so we can't go, Starbucks? That's not neutral. Starbucks? Okay, so now you got the word Starbucks. Let's try it.
Okay.
Nick, I'm going to Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Good. Make that sound. Starbucks?
Starbucks.
There you go. That's it. Can you feel it's like a little bit more of excitement, but at the same time, we're keeping it neutral because is that what you mean? Starbucks?
Yeah.
Do it one more time, then I want to throw it back to Paul and have him do something.
Hey, Nick, I'm going to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Starbucks? Keep that neutral. Cool. Good. All right, so let's go to Paul. So you're talking right through that resonator. Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Okay, so Nick, tell me where you're going.
Okay. Hey, Paul. Want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks?
Good. Do it again. Okay, so that was just a little bit of movement in the brow. So let's see if we can just keep it straight in there and just a little bit of the eye. Starbucks?
Paul. Going to Starbucks.
Starbucks?
And they're going, yeah, dude, Starbucks. So play it real straight, Nick. Hey, Paul, I'm going to Starbucks. And then Paul, Starbucks? And then see what, he's the kind of guy who's really out there, Try it again.
All right. Hey, Paul. Going to Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Yeah. Starbucks.
So now we can take something that's Starbucks. So again, the reaction is preceding our dialogue. So we already know the question is coming in, and the dialogue kind of just is almost repetitive in a sense. So that's why we don't need the dialogue with the reaction, but sometimes we're there to comment on it. So this one is going to be, we're going to take it from the unexpected is, Paul, you're going to ask Nick, where'd you go? And Nick, you're going to go, Starbucks. And Paul, Starbucks? Okay. He didn't tell you. That's why you're reacting the way you did. It's all this is unexpected in some way.
Okay.
So try it. And Nick, just come back, sit down.
Hey, Nick, where'd you go?
I just went to Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Okay. So now he went without you. So see how that played. Starbucks. So Starbucks. So don't put any excitement into it. Just put Starbucks.
Okay.
I try it again.
Hey, Nick, where'd you go?
I just got back from Starbucks.
Starbucks?
What do you want to say, Paul? I mean, Nick.
I'm sorry. Did you want something, man?
Yeah, and get used to it. Even if okay, whatever it might be, I just want you to be able to come up with a reaction with whatever he's doing. Even if I get it. Okay.
Sure.
We'll stay in the whole scene. Let's do it one more time.
Okay.
Let's go. That was good. So know that Starbucks, that would be your dream time, Paul. That you have Starbucks. Yes.
Yeah.
And action.
Hey, Nick, where'd you go?
I I just got back from Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Yeah. Starbucks.
Cool. All right, let's switch it around. So now, you know what's your relationship with Starbucks? Boy, couldn't you use a Starbucks? There was something different about that. Hold on a second. That Starbucks, was he brave to go there by himself? That's what it seemed like. You know.
Yeah. How did you make it there?
Yeah. You went by yourself?
You're back. You were successful.
I've heard stories about Starbucks. Starbucks?
Yeah, that's right.
So, figuring out, well, okay, what's the message that we're sending here? And I tell you, this kind of understanding what we're doing here and how to interpret what's happening, you can see how it can be the money stuff in a commercial audition. Because they're trying to figure out, how do I get this look? Well, most of the time, it's going to be interpreting it. Even though this is unexpected, it's dumbfounded. But it makes sense if I'm still questioning where you went, and you went to Starbucks. Now, Phil, why am I questioning that? Because whatever reason, only the good people, only the evil people go to Starbucks. Okay, so let's try it. So, Paul, you went to Starbucks.
Okay.
Hey, Paul, where were you?
Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Yeah. All right, so blow it off, Paul. Just like I went to Starbucks. But I want you to treat Starbucks like it's the other world. And I want it all down here. So don't give me a lot of movement up here. He went. Where'd he go? Starbucks. That's pretty brave. He's like the Jon Snow of the Starbucks world, Game of Thrones. Go to the river, wildlings. Okay, try it again. Here you go.
Hey, Paul, where were you? We just had a meeting.
Starbucks?
Starbucks?
Yeah.
Good. Do it again, and so you can see what's happening, Paul. He's had this, and you're raising all these. So keep that. Where'd you go? Keep it all down here. Where were you? Starbucks. Yeah. So don't move anything else up here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But just dropping the jaw. Keep your eyes focused on him. Starbucks.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Good. Try to freak him out a little bit. There you go.
Okay. Hey, Paul, where were you?
Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Yeah. Starbucks.
Good. The timing was a little bit off on that. Do it more time.
Okay. Hey, Paul, where were you? We just had a meeting.
Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Yeah, Starbucks.
Good. Do it one more time for me, and I want you to notice that Starbucks. Oh, it's up here in this resonator. Keep it Starbucks. Keep it down in this resonator.
Okay. Hey, Paul, where were you?
Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Do it again. Starbucks. Starbucks. Yeah. So Starbucks has all the strippers in there. They have and there's people who've gone to Starbucks and they've never come out. Starbucks. Yeah. So you can play however you want to play with that. All right. Cool. So a little. Good. Not the eyes. Now give me a really.
Really?
Really?
Give me a really.
Really?
Really?
Good. And Good. Now just a little bit. Good. And then Good, 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 good. Much better. So anything that's unexpected in any way, that we're going to interpret that unexpected, something where you don't know what to say about it. So down the bottom here is more about dumbfounded or even awe. You know? So as you look, what I want you to, as you're looking straight here right now, I just want you just to drop the jaw. Let the jaw, yeah, good. Now, if you bring the brow up, good, not the eyes, the brow. Now, if you see, so right over to the left side of your camera, what I want you to do is I want you to see a spot. And as you see that, lock onto that spot, I want the brow, lift the brow up. And then drop the jaw. Now, the higher that brow goes up, drop the jaw down a little bit, Paul. Good. Just, I mean, I'm sorry, tilt the head down a little bit. Now lift the brow up as high as it can go. And the more relaxed that is, bring the jaw down, the more dazed you're going to look. All right, so let me start it from here. Eyelids a little relaxed, and the brow goes up. Good, yeah, keep it like Little Stone, dude. Now tilt the head down and looking straight. And now let the mouth part, there you go. So right now, if you can see her face, that's the face of a guy who just saw the girl he is so incredibly in love with. That's that kind of dumb goo-goo look, you know, and you can do variations of that. Why would you have that look? Now, okay, we relax now. Have you seen variations of that? Somebody looking at the beautiful girl walking by?
Yeah.
So the question is, why? Because that's dazed. It's part, and if we begin to analyze it, we have that kind of questioning. I just don't know what even to think of that, and dumbfounded. So that dazed look can go to things. This might be a car that you find to be amazingly, incredibly beautiful. So anything that is unexpectedly or better than something else, amazing beauty, it's the vastness of something, like the Grand Canyon. There's going to be an element of that awe into it, but also dumbfounded. I don't even know what to say about it. So let's go into the more of the cognitive, the thinking process. So, we're going to bring that brow in. It's part of the anger. Good. So now, why? If I said to you, I'm going to go to Starbucks, why would you have that look? Why would you react that way? So try it with me. Bring attention to my voice. And as soon as I say you want to go to Starbucks, I want you to bring that brow in with the sound of Okay, here you go. Think about going to Starbucks. Okay. So now that you have that in, Nick, what's that feel like? What are you doing? What's that feel like?
How would I respond?
Yeah, what's that feel like when you do that for you? Are you contemplating something? Thinking about something? Are you confused, perplexed?
Just thinking about if that's a good idea.
Okay. You're kind of pondering it. You're thinking about it. It's a focus. And Paul, for you?
Well, I kind of felt like that is a bad idea. Like, I don't, I'm thinking like what you're doing is probably not a good idea.
So you feel you're a little bit more confused. Why would you do that?
Exactly.
Disbelief?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to see that brow come in just a little bit more. I want to see those vertical lines a little bit. Squeeze that. There you go. Yeah.
Hmm.
See, if we keep it straight, it's a pondering. Starbucks. You see, almost weighing it over. Starbucks. Yes, no. Now, I want you to do the same thing, but this time I want you to tilt your head. Starbucks. And see how that makes you feel. Okay, ready? Think about going to Starbucks. Anything? What's that feel like?
Starbucks.
Never thought of that before? Or was that?
Yeah, it's kind of like you think it's a bad idea, but you would like to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to say it is more of interest, curiosity.
Yeah.
Not necessarily agreeing with it.
Well,
What's that? With Nick? Did you say something? Bringing it in. Starbucks.
sorry, am I cutting out here?
Yeah, you were. Oh, you're freezing? Yeah, now you're good. So what's it? Does it feel different? Starbucks.
Starbucks.
And it's also the way you say it. One could be when we lift in our head slightly with it. It's more intention, but it's also more interest in what's being said.
Starbucks.
Now I want you to bring it back as you do it. Starbucks. See how that feels. Ready? I'm thinking about going to Starbucks. Bring it.
Starbucks.
Starbucks? Do you feel a little bit of disbelief with that, Paul?
Yeah, definitely. Like you're crazy.
Starbucks? So allowing the words to come off of how that makes you feel. So Nick, how does that make you feel? The same thing? Disbelief? Really? No, you just thought about it, yeah.
Just contemplation.
Okay, but now what I want you to do is bring it in and bring your head back to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Yeah. It's come back. What? And if you put a little smile to it, you crazy?
Starbucks.
Yeah. What are you, nuts?
Starbucks.
So that thinking about it, contemplating, not necessarily anger, you're not pissed off. So it could be disbelief, focus, Starbucks. I want you to say Starbucks like you really didn't think about that. Starbucks. We didn't think about that, right? Starbucks. So I'm thinking about going to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
So can you hear that? That that came down is now establishing a tone that you're going to talk by. Starbucks. If you go, Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Yeah. So the different sounds, a different rhythm. Starbucks.
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 Okay.
Starbucks.
Now we're going to see what happens either from here, and I'm going to say let's go to Starbucks. I want to see that tension after I say it in the eyes. Starbucks. So it's going to be almost the same kind of contemplativeness. Starbucks. Or I'll give you another one here. So think about that. Starbucks. You know what we could do? We could go to Starbucks.
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 Yes. Starbucks.
That'll get her. And we can get one of those little crawlers. Crawler.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
I have heard of this place.
It's so funny because, especially a lot of stylized shows, or even it's stuff that you would see from Daniel Day-Lewis. Starbucks. It's something that he's bringing all of him to the party. So again, you don't think that way. If I said to you, okay, so you're contemplating Starbucks, what would you do? Now, I just showed you 2 ways that you can do it. So I want you to contemplate Starbucks. Now, the question is why? Both you give me a reason why why are you contemplating Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Why is that happening? Well, I'll start off. You both work in the same office. Nick's going to go thinking about going to Starbucks. What about Starbucks? Paul, you're going to be bringing that brow down, thinking about Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Why is there so much weight to the answering this?
Because the last time we went there, we got caught
Got caught Starbucks.
by the boss.
Okay. Can we do it? Can we make Starbucks? So Starbucks has good and bad connected to it.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
We can make it there and back. It's good.
Okay. All right, let's try it. So, when you're ready, Paul, Nick, come here.
Yep. Hey, Paul. I was thinking about going to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah. So it makes you want to go ahead and think about it. So maybe before you say Starbucks, do the same thing. Bring it in. Think about it and then say
Okay.
it. There you go.
Hey, Paul, we have about 10 minutes before the meeting. I think I'm going to go to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Good. Let's stylize this commercial here now. You're down, you're working.
Okay.
Nick will say something. It's slowly going to come up, and as it's coming up, Okay. See what happens. And try it.
Hey, Paul. Got a few minutes before the meeting. I think I'm going to go to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah, crazy coworker, right?
Like, I think I'm going to go by myself.
Yeah. Okay, so Nick, try it. So it's like a little bit, it's coming. The thing is, like you said, you nearly got caught, didn't have enough time. Is Starbucks the right one? I like Starbucks. Starbucks. We haven't done that for a while. Contemplated. Edge of night, search for tomorrow. And let's try it. Here we go. And so. Paul, Nick, you're working, and Paul's going to say, hey, Nick, how about Starbucks? And then as soon as he hits that, Starbucks is your trigger. As soon as he says that, bring that in, and then so you're going to start the activation, the thought process. You
guys still hear me?
No.
Okay.
Then think. Starbucks. Okay, here we go.
Okay, one second. I need this internet to stabilize real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good.
Good.
Hey, Nick, you want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Remember, you're solving this problem. So that's what I want to see with that. And I want to see it as you're coming up. So neutral, and then make that sound.
Okay.
Here we go, try it again.
Hey, Nick, you want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Cool. So what was cool about that was that the thought happened down here. That means he was alive, even though his head wasn't, we weren't seeing everything. And so it wasn't wait for something to happen, then do it. Like I walk, I talk, I stop walking, I start talking. It's not action and start, stop, start, stop. It was alive. The whole thing was kind of fluid, so that was nice. And so, bring it up. You brought it up with already contemplating. So I want you to make Paul feel like an idiot. He says, "How about Starbucks? Starbucks? All right, make him like that's like the stupidest idea you ever heard. Okay, let's try it.
Okay.
Impress your boss, Paul.
Hey, Nick, you want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks? It's the stupidest idea I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, so get it up. Make sure you lock on the hand. Starbucks? I mean, so make sure it's in all locked, aligned together. Are you kidding me? Huh? So make that sound. Huh? Starbucks? Try it again.
Huh?
Starbucks? It's almost like he wants to go to what do you call those models to get swimwear? Victoria's Secret for coffee. Victoria's Secret.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second.
Freezing.
Oh my gosh.
Is it cutting up?
Sorry, am I coming back? Okay, it's cutting out. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem. It's not funny because for us, I see you fine. It must be your incoming. One more time.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Nick, you want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks?
Good. And keep it down the whole time. Starbucks? Don't change the reaction. All right, one more time.
Hey, Nick, you want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks?
Good. Do you see how when he talks, Paul, how it's moving? So we want to keep that talk from this brow, not the poor bastard one.
Yeah.
So being aware of it. So as you guys work together, let them know that you're changing the expression going on there. Paul, you want to try it? So
yeah.
Your task as an actor, make him feel stupid, disbelief that he would even say Starbucks. Here you go.
Hey, Paul. Want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks?
Good. Bring it in a little bit more, a little heart.
Okay.
Try it again. That was good timing.
Hey, Paul. I'm about to head to Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Good. Give me the sound first, Paul. So I want to see the reaction.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you didn't even need to talk, but I want you to talk after. So, Starbucks? Okay.
Hey, Paul. I'm about to head to Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Yeah. Good. Do it one more time. Now make that sound a little bit softer to yourself. Starbucks?
Yeah.
And remember, it's up higher in this resonator. Starbucks?
Okay.
Hey, Paul. I'm about to head to Starbucks.
Starbucks?
Good. Can you give me that Starbucks up here as opposed to down here?
Starbucks?
Yeah. Starbucks?
Starbucks?
So it's
Starbucks?
yeah. Stupid? Really?
Starbucks?
Yeah. Cool. So now we have the Starbucks. All right, so let's go with the bottom. Starbucks. There's a little low irritation. Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Yeah.
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
So the
Starbucks.
Starbucks. And that could also be thinking too. Starbucks. So let's go with the thinking. Let's go contemplate. Let's not go. We'll go with the irritation. So the thought being, what do you think about Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Yeah. So if you chew it over, just the jaw. Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Good. All right, good. Let's try it. So Nick, give Paul, and then Paul do Nick. Ready? What do you think of Starbucks? So now you're contemplating, you're thinking it over. In action.
Hey, Paul. I think I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Good. Let me see you think about it. So just let the jaw drop a little bit. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And then press it down before you say Starbucks. Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah, good. Let's try it again.
Hey, Paul. I think I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah. Not seeing. Let me look at this a little bit closer. All right. So let me see. Yeah, let me see you jet that jaw forward just a little bit, Paul. Yeah. Yeah. Bring the bottom lip into the teeth. Starbucks. Okay. Yeah. Sam, I can see it. And that it's just so East Coast, and it's like bringing the lip into the teeth.
Starbucks.
Yeah. It narrows the lips up more. So the hum. That's it. And just give me the hum first. Hum. Starbucks. Now bring it to yourself. Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's do it. Let's see. Go ahead, Paul.
Okay.
Wait this over.
Hey, Paul. I think I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Good. Make sure you get locked on because now this is important. Starbucks. So I can't see any diffusion or dissipation.
Okay.
Once you have that, you're locked on now. Do it again.
Hey, Paul. I think I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
I think it's so funny. It's like, oh, golly, I'm thinking about going to Starbucks. Starbucks. Yeah. Cool. So let's, once it says Starbucks, there is, I need you to freeze on Starbucks and then bring it in. It's like almost like Starbucks. We're missing that one beat of hearing it to freeze and then let it change. So let me see it again, Paul.
Okay.
Hey, Paul. I think I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
So let me take a moment here because I started to talk to you about the freeze before. Was that correct? You got, or did I not?
The surprise freeze, yeah.
The freeze, where it stops us. It's a limbic response. And so in the freeze, we can use so often. One of the ways we use it is when we're not sure of how we feel about something, the freeze will come in. Or if I don't want you to know how I feel about something, the freeze may come in. If I want to control how I feel about something, then we freeze. So when we freeze, everything has to stop. There's no blinking. So, and when we see the freeze clear when something else is going on, meaning I'm talking to you this, and you and Nick, as I'm talking to you, just say no at any time, okay? So whenever you're ready, say it, and I'll keep talking to you. Say no. So whenever you're ready to say no.
No.
No. No. So it has to, and do it. Obviously, that was a little off, but it's that moment. It takes you take it in, and then everything starts to fall away. Starbucks. So once you just kind of practice that moment of hearing it, and then go into what you're thinking. So try it again, Paul.
Hey, oh my gosh. Okay. Hey, Paul, I think I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Now we just made a bigger deal out of Starbucks than you could possibly take, because you wouldn't do that unless it was. Yes, you know, you can hear the music playing. Do you want to try it, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're bringing it down. All we're doing is contemplating it again. And here we go.
Hey, Nick, you want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Good. So you notice how when we stopped and we had the here, but then you went over here to think. Now I'm wondering if you can do that and find a way that you can think right in his face without, see if you can make that work for you.
Okay.
I'm just curious. There you go. Do it again. So you're doing something else, and then let him get you out of it.
Hey, Nick, you want to go to Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Cool. How many times we do that, right? And you see it all the time. You're looking right at the person. Let's do that. And it's almost like they're thinking in their face, but they're not really looking at them. They're inside making that decision. Yeah. So, since we're in this family here, we have the ground for being perplexed, or when we're interested about something, or it's disbelief. And so bring the brown in, give me the perplexed. Starbucks?
Starbucks?
What the hell is Starbucks? So make sure it goes down and not up, otherwise poor bastard.
Okay.
Starbucks? Why would you be perplexed by Starbucks? Why would you think of that?
Because they employ slaves in Africa to make their coffee, and I'm very emotional about that.
Say say that you just asked me, where can I go to work out?
Okay. Yeah, where can I go to work out?
Let's go to Starbucks.
Starbucks?
That's a little.
Okay. Yeah.
So figuring out, so that's, and then we had the focus on the eyes, Starbucks. That's thinking in your face too.
Starbucks.
Yeah, didn't notice that. So we're going to do Starbucks, that's the one. So right before, bring it back to your thinking, Starbucks. And I want you to squeeze Starbucks. Yeah. That's the one. Starbucks? Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yes.
Starbucks.
When we're determined to do something, like you want to show me that you're determined, that you're in. So as you're listening to me, I want you to bring your brow down and really listen carefully to what I got to say. Because we need to go in on this job being 100% committed. You guys with me? Now bring the mouth in. You with me, Nick? Paul? So that second muscle group added to that adds that level of determination. Okay. Now, what I want you to feel is this loose buckling. Yeah. You know, like it's regretful. You got to do something you don't want to do. Can you feel that? So we got to fire Bill. Right? Are you in? Really? Let's do it. So right before you're making that decision, as you're making that decision, there's a little buckling down or there's a tight. And we send that signal. So if you're going to make a decision, focus, do it. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Focus. Once you press that second one in, or you added a little bit extra tension to the other one, you made the decision. So we can't see you make the decision. What we can see is you determined to execute it. So I want you to think, Paul, right now, about doing something. All right, let's put the scenario, and Nick, do the same thing because you're going to do it too. You've got to do something, and what I want you to first is to weigh it over, and then decide. And then once you decide, you're going to let me know. So let's bring that in. Okay. So either maybe I'll help you out in here. You're either in with this with me or you're out. Either we're going to take this guy down or you're out of it and I don't want to see you again. So I want you to think about it. Paul, you let me know. Nick? Good. You feel that little, you can see how small you can make that. It could be just moving the mouse slightly. Let's do it. Yeah, good. It's that activity, but it's in the anger family. It's down here. Can you feel that, Nick? That little... So as you're staying focused. Bring him in. We already know we're following what game you're on here. So that same thing, if you can see it in the eyes, you have that focus here. And then bring in the second one. So you have one of the anger. Yeah. You're looking at a photo. And here's something I want you to practice too, is if you're looking at the photo, right? And you're trying to get the answer. And you're working, and all of a sudden, something will stop you. And then you can take off. So there's two beats. One, I'm at a loss, trying to find something, then freeze, take it in. And now you're determined to execute it. Okay. You want to try it? You guys got something that you can do that? See if you can work that out for me. This is like the crucial part of the movie. The detective's at a loss, looking for some clue. And all of a sudden, something will come in. So it's about the shape. It's the color. Okay. Freeze. You look at it. What's it mean? Yes. As you start bringing in one of the anger, getting focused in on it. Okay. Then it's going to be a second one. You know what you got to do. All right. So let me take a look. Paul, you want to try it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. And Nick, you watch because I'm going to get some feedback from you.
Okay.
Okay. So give him some feedback.
I definitely saw the anger and like the slight twitch of the eye or slight widening of the eye when he spotted that changed his disposition.
Okay. I think he got the parts.
It was an ink.
A little
It's
bit
like
too
a,
big. So now let's make it smaller. So this is here. Just really kind of you're looking at the photo. Let it be a photo that you're looking at and trying to get what the hell, how did this clue come about? So make sure you bring it over a little bit more so I can see your face a little clearer.
Okay.
And you think, and somehow right there is the moment. So we don't need much more from the stop. Some of it.
Okay.
And it might even bring it away from it. So part of this is finding the dance to make it look right. So go ahead and try it, and right. It's going to help you do it. There you go, in action. Okay. It's getting there. It's getting there. What do you think, Nick? So we have a couple beats. So if we broke it down, the first beat is looking at trying to find something about this photo. There's something on it, and then all of a sudden something came in. It stopped me, and now I'm putting it in. I'm figuring it out. So I'm assessing it.
Yeah.
A bit. So it's this next part as I'm going into action. That needs to be played with. So try one more time, then I'll have Nick do it.
Okay.
You know, follow what I'm saying, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Assess. Son of a bitch. What's it mean? Bring the second one in, and now you're off to action. What you think, Nick?
That one was good. When you told him to kind of slow it down and let him like kind of let it sink in a little bit more.
Yeah.
I could see yeah.
That's the assessing part. Once you get to the freeze, then how long is that moment of putting it together, and all of a sudden, son of a bitch. You know, so, and I don't know where the story's going to go. It can go a couple different ways. You want to try it, Nick?
Yep.
And here we go. And so you're looking. You do it again. Start again before you start, because I can't see. Hold something up. Do you have something that you could be looking at? It's a clue. Yeah. So bring that up there, and this is the clue that the guy gave you. Okay, here you go. And what can this mean? It's a friggin' phone. Something's got to find it, move it, and then stop. Go to turn away and then stop. Right there. So it's kind of hard to hear. So something, yeah. So it's finding that. How do I find that freeze? How do I find that moment that draws?
Okay, so the realization should be very evident when I look away.
It should start. So something will change, and maybe you get drawn to it as you're figuring it out. So it's one of the little harder parts.
Okay.
But once you get it,
okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Try it again. Yeah, Paul.
Okay, so I picked up the first part where he froze, he found something, then he's contemplating it, but I didn't see the determination afterwards.
Okay, so it might be just that, even just a little bit, yeah. And now you did that, how do you get to action? So what is that next moment? I got it? Yeah. You know how especially you see it's great in movies where the detective picks up the clue, and then it depends on how big that clue is. If this is game changing, the urgency will be quicker. If it's not, it could be seeing it and going, okay. So let's make this one a little bit more of a game changer. Try it again. Here, go with this one first. Have something else on your head, your forehead. Bring that brow in. And then once you see it, let it relax. Or you go the other way where it's seeing the back. I like it relaxing.
Yeah.
Okay. Try it again. Son of a bitch. Because that. Yeah. So it's just that little bit of a press down. So both of you try it. I'm going to watch you both. Ready?
All right.
Here we go. And you're both looking for a clue. Freeze. Cool. So we're going to practice that and practicing different, getting this clue, almost anything. It could be in a book you're reading. It can be looking through a room or something gets your attention. And then, okay, there, that's what it is, and everybody else is probably looking, what? You get locked in. So I want you to find some moments like that you see in a TV show or in a movie where we see this moment of discovery, and you'll see the freeze and you'll see the dissolving of what, whatever was on there. It's almost 9:30, so we're going to continue on. I want you to continue on this, guys, get together. But while you're working each one, I'm going to go to Starbucks. We're going to bring in discuss. Ew. Starbucks?
You.
Starbucks? Yeah. So you can do it with each one, but I want you to explain what is it that you're thinking of? Is it if I said the last time you saw Starbucks, you saw some cockroaches running around there?
Yeah.
You go, I'm thinking about going to Starbucks. You want Starbucks? Yeah, Starbucks. So it's our opinion. I think it's distasteful. Ew.
Starbucks?
No. And then why would you have the Starbucks? Why would you do that? Starbucks. There's a loss that's involved. Now, if you were on some medication where you couldn't have your coffee, I'm going to go to Starbucks. Oh, Starbucks? Or you're on a diet, you can't get that mocha frappuccino. So I want you to practice each one of these. Just use this one thing for Starbucks, but you can change it to just about anything. I want you to go through all the muscle groups on that.
Starbucks.
And I'm going to have, next week we're gonna be playing with a bunch of other things. You guys got a cup there?
Cup, yeah.
All right. I want you to take a sip. And in here, and what the taste is going to be something distasteful. Okay. Actually, I don't want to get into. I'll do it next week. I'm going to have it set you up. We're going to go through a whole long spot with all the reactions. The last week I kept it late. Any questions, guys?
No, this is great. Good time.
Yeah. So just practice, like kind of the Starbucks practice session, just with all of the different emotions.
Yeah, you know what? In fact, if you can get somebody to talk to you, just ask me, hey, I'm going to Starbucks, and come up here's what I want you to do with it, is really validate why you have that expression on your face. Know why. Create that little mini history. Don't just make the face and make the sound. We need to know the why. So we got the 3 parts. The what are we doing? You know, what are we reacting to? Why are we reacting to it? And we know the how. So go through the individual parts. Go for the right timing, intensity. There is. Did you guys watch the videos on the alignment videos, where I go through the achieving a truthful response? All those videos. Watch them again, because it's really big on the nailing the reaction, the 3 parts, the timing, intensity, and all that stuff. So just watch that again as we're coming up for the reactions.
Okay.
And let me know when you guys can get together. I'll come on ahead of time and get you warmed up.
We've talked about doing the same time
Next week?
Next week, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you can get together sooner than it's possible, it's, like closer to when we have a class, and then right after it, so you can practice what we're doing right here. But either that or watch the video.
Sure. Okay.
Good work, guys. And
Thanks.
I'll have some other stuff I'm going to be sending you. But for now, just keep breaking the emotions apart. Keep justifying, connecting, supporting why you have what you have on your face.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
Good job, guys.
Thanks,
I'll talk
John.
to you later. I'll send you this video.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.
Sounds good. All right. See you guys.
Bye.